Greetings. I'm so happy that we are together. We are working some psalm magic today. And today we are working Psalm 119, Cheth. And we traditionally work this to overcome loneliness. What we do with these psalms is we read them through all the way once without stopping. And we call this an incantation. And then we go back. The second half of this formula is we go back and we go through them slowly, one verse at a time, and we discover inner meanings that are hidden deep within those verses. And those are seeds. And by finding those seeds and thinking about those seeds are thus planted deep into the fertile earth of our mind, our deep mind, the deepest parts of our mind. And they take root and they bear fruit after their own kind. And that's how this stuff works. That's how we work these psalms. So let's do that together, shall we? This is Psalm 119, Cheth. Thou art my portion, O Lord. I have said that I would keep thy words. I entreated thy favor with my whole heart. Be merciful unto me according to thy word. I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. The hands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy law. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. I am a companion of all them that fear thee, and of them that keep thy precepts. The earth, O Lord, is full of thy mercy. Teach me thy statutes. All right, so let's go through these and see what we can find. And remember, there's an infinite amount of these magic seeds. You can never find them all. So it's okay if you just do your best. That's all that you need to do. All right, here we go. Thou art my portion, O Lord. I have said that I would keep thy words. All right, so we know the first thing we got to do is remind ourselves who we're addressing. We're addressing the Lord, and in the Psalms, this is not a separate deity from us. This is the source of all life itself. There is only one. It's the one force, the one source, and the one substance. You can think, if you had to think in terms of any kind of system, you might think Star Wars, the force be with you. So there's one. So therefore, there's nothing to oppose it. There's nothing to thwart it. We say that one with God is a majority, and that if God is for you, who can be against you? Okay, so that's who we're addressing. And it says, Thou art my portion, O Lord. I have said that I would keep thy words. Now, my portion means my inheritance. That is mine. And what God gave you as your portion is everything. God gave you everything. When God gave you the keys to the kingdom, he meant it. The keys to the kingdom, all of it. Okay, so that's your portion, is everything. I have said that I would keep thy words. Now, how do you keep the promises of God? How do you keep the words of God? Well, God's promises in the Bible are simply talking about law. Any kind of promise is always a law. So, when it says, I have said that I would keep thy words, that means that you're going to keep to the laws of the natural laws that are part of divinity, the divine laws. Okay? And the way that you find out what those laws are is by contemplating the qualities of God. That's how you are taught the laws of God. You contemplate the qualities of God. Infinite love, infinite truth, right? Infinite intelligence, all of the different qualities of God. I entreated thy favor with my whole heart. Be merciful unto me according to thy word. So if you are entreating God's favor with your whole heart, that means that your entire soul is opened up to learning and knowing the laws of God, because the laws of God, according to this psalm, is all that you need to open up the inheritance which is already yours. And again, you've been given everything. Be merciful unto me according to thy word. Mercy, according to the tree of life, is that sphere of number 4, and that is the sphere of Jupiter. Mercy means that no matter what No matter what you've done, no matter what you've said, no matter what your history, grace is yours. You are forgiven, and you get all the goods. You get all the goodies. But you can't continue doing things that pull you away from your good, simply because you can't be in two worlds at once. So once you wake up, all that you've done in your dream is already forgiven because you woke up. But if you want to keep awake, then you have to stop falling asleep, right? If you want to stay awake to your good, you must stay awake. You can't keep going back to doing everything as somebody that's sleepwalking. Okay, I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. So when you think on the ways of God, that means that you're thinking of those qualities of God that we've discussed. And there's a whole video on that if you want to know more about the qualities of the divine. There's a video called The Qualities of the Divine, I think is what it's called. And I turned my feet unto thy testimonies. That means that you didn't only just think of them, all of your motivations now are being informed by those qualities, by thinking of those qualities. I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies, right? So your way, God's way works. Yours doesn't. That's the basic bottom line of this verse. God's way works, yours doesn't. So I turned my ways over to you. And now I'm thinking about your testimonies instead. There you have it. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. That means now. That means it's not something you're thinking about doing. Yeah, I should do that, huh? Yeah, I'm thinking about one day I'm going to just really get into this stuff. No, you do it like the second. You think in terms of those qualities of God now instead of all of those other vain imaginings that are causing you problems. The hands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy law. Well, the hands of the wicked that rob you are those thought forms within you that believe that they are separate from God and believe that they need to keep hunting and searching for ways to be separate from God. That's the hand. That's the hands of the wicked, and they do rob you of every good thing. But I have not forgotten thy law. So even in the midst of those thought forms wreaking havoc on your life, if instead of being hypnotized by them, if you instead turn your mind to thinking about the qualities of God, even in the midst of all of that, you are saved immediately. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. Now, why would you rise at midnight? Well, you're going to rise at midnight rather than, there's several ways to look at this. One is you're going to rise at midnight rather than going back to sleep to your good, like we talked about before. Instead of going to sleep, this is not talking about your body going to sleep. This is talking about your soul does not need to be in slumber anymore. So you're going to rise. Your soul's going to rise and go and start working in tune with the divine. It also is talking about how at midnight everything's dark and you can't see what's happening, and this is oftentimes representative of the time of your greatest fears. In your greatest darkness in your life. So when things don't look right, when things look dark, your response to that, rather than trying to interact with the darkness itself, you are instead going to rise and give thanks to the Lord because of thy righteous judgments. Now, the righteous judgments of God are exactly that. They are righteous judgments. God only knows who you are. God doesn't know you as you think you are, because God didn't create you as you think you are. That's all a big private little thing that you're doing all by yourself inside your own mind, and this is the way that you're trying to interact with other people who are doing the same thing. And God doesn't see any of that because none of that's real. Okay, none of that is real at all. All of that is a falseness that we believe is real. So God's judgment is seeing who you are, and everything that's not who you are doesn't compute, doesn't get, quote, saved. And that's a good thing. So that means all your problems aren't coming. None of your problems get to come. None of your problems get to come along. So we are invoking God's judgment here. We want that. I am a companion of all of them that fear thee, and of them that keep thy precepts. To fear God is not being afraid of God, like you're afraid of a snake maybe, or maybe you're afraid of poverty, or you're afraid of loud noises. Being afraid, the fear of God means deep, undying respect for the supreme power, just like an electrician has respect for electricity. Not afraid of it, but respect for it, and not going to mess with it, not going to do stupid things with it. Okay, so you're a companion of all of them that have the same amount of respect, and out and of them that keep thy precepts. That all parts of you, inside you, that keep God's precepts are your companions. Everybody else that's living inside of you that's a false construct is going to go away. We are giving that up. We are asking for God's judgment to come in and clean it out. Clean out all those demonic thought forms that we have created ourselves, to let them go and to be clear of them. And that's what we're doing with this psalm. The earth, O Lord, is full of thy mercy. Teach me thy statutes. Now, the earth being full of mercy means that every single manifestation in your life, all of it, money, car, relationships, body, health, house, whatever your manifestations are, we are calling them, we are saying that they are manifestations of God's mercy. Remember, mercy is the number 4 in the tree of life. So mercy also represents abundance. Jupiter is abundance and expansion. So all the manifest parts of your life are now abundant. And all of the mistakes that you've made are now wiped clean. That's mercy. Teach me thy statutes. Show me the truth. Teach me the truth, because I'm done with teaching myself stuff that's a lie. I'm done teaching myself because I don't know anything. But if I learn from God, then I know everything. All right. This is how you work these psalms, and they really do work if you work them. So keep coming back to it over and over again, and you should see a really nice resolution to whatever you're bringing to this psalm. All right, this has been great. I can't wait to work with you again, and until that time,